Welcome to the Blount County Workshop meeting for Thursday, July the 9th, 2026. Commissioners, please register your presence while we play the emergency evacuation procedure.
Before we get started, I'm going to read the emergency evacuation procedures. An emergency evacuation alarm will sound. Everyone should exit the building by way of the nearest stairwell in a safe and private manner. If the nearest stairwell is blocked by smoke, use the other stairwell. Do not use the elevator. Once you reach the main floor, follow the exit signs to exit the building and quickly proceed away from the building. Please be mindful of others evacuating and emergency vehicles.
Mr. Clerk, can you please take the roll?
Mr. Chairman, you have 16 members present and 5 members absent.
Thank you. Chairman Anderson is sick and unable to make tonight's meeting. Commissioners Bowers, French, Giles, and Reagan had a conflict. And with that, I'll stand for a motion to set the agenda. I have a motion from Commissioner Martin, second from Commissioner Caldwell. And up first, I got Commissioner Davis.
I would like to pull the resolution for the compensation increase for school board, please. Thank you.
Resolution number 267015. If there's no objection, we're going to remove that from the agenda. Also, under new business, item A, resolution number 267001 doesn't have any sponsors. This is the resolution regarding the South Plant. We're going to need 2 sponsors before we can move forward with that. Does anyone wish to sponsor it? Commissioner Akert has agreed to be a sponsor. Do I have a second sponsor? Put Commissioner King on it as the second sponsor.
Yes, sir.
All right, so we'll be voting on the agenda with that item that Commissioner Davis removed, and the South Plant now has sponsors. Is there any other questions? If not, Commissioners, please register your votes.
Sorry, sir. Mr. Chairman, you have 16 yes votes.
Thank you. The agenda is set. Commissioner Michaels, for what purpose?
To clarify how that was on the agenda to ask for sponsors, because if something's not put on the agenda prior to the meeting beginning, is that allowed?
Mr. Mayor, would you like to answer that? Go ahead, Mr. Mayor. Yes.
I don't remember us ever doing this before, to be honest with you. I'm not real sure how that happened, how that we were able to do that. I don't know, and Mr. Chairman, you may remember, we don't have our parliamentarian here, but I'm not sure exactly how you're all able to add that without it coming to you with sponsors. I'm not sure how that works, that you can do that.
I don't know either, but it does currently have 2 sponsors, and the agenda has been set.
Well, I'm asking for us to reconsider that with the knowledge that we do have now that it's been brought up. We need to reconsider allowing it to be sponsors to be gathered on the floor. If that's the case, we're opening Pandora's box for that to happen every time we have a meeting.
So we have a motion to reconsider. Do we have a second? I'll second. Second from Commissioner Joplin. Does any of the commissioners have any questions on the vote to reconsider? All right.
I'm looking for that on here. Hold on just a minute.
We're setting a dangerous precedence right there.
Commissioner Aker.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is our agenda meeting, and the item was sponsored by two commissioners prior to the agenda being set. I would think that that would be enough to say yes to. It happened before the meeting was called to order, and anyway, that's what I've got to say to it.
We do have a motion and a second to reconsider, so we're going to vote on it again. Is there any other questions? Commissioners are voting on whether to reconsider set the agenda.
Still,
Pay attention.
hold on a second, I'm still looking for the motion
Okay.
to reconsider.
Give us just a moment.
Do you see that on here, what we want to use? I have no idea. Motion to deny? Yeah, that's what I'm looking to see. We can just do it without, sounds good.
So we can't get the computer to cooperate, so we're going to have to do a voice vote. I got Commissioner Bledsoe up next. Commissioner Bledsoe.
Yes, thank you, Chairman. I just wanted to, I'm just asking a question here just for clarification. I'm not sure one way or the other, but in the commission rules, I thought it stated that before it's put on the agenda, like published here on this sheet here, that it has 2 sponsors before it makes it to here. Is that correct? What would the commission rules say?
Okay, okay.
I am unsure, and like the mayor's pointed out, we don't have a parliamentarian here tonight.
So the motion was made by Michaels.
Well,
seconded by-
Seconded by
Should it be
Goff.
postponed,
Huh?
since we do not have
Well, we've already
clarification?
got a motion and a second on the floor now, so we're going to have to deal with this first, and then we
Okay,
can take it from there.
okay.
So now they can vote electronically.
Now we can vote electronically. He's got it figured out. Commissioner Michaels for the second time.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So, if I get this straight, Commissioner Akerd is a past parliamentarian of this body. So, while our current parliamentarian is absent, we should have the knowledge to know if this is correct, and I'm pretty sure that no matter whether a vote has passed or failed, or let's see, it has to fail to be reconsidered immediately following before the agenda presses on. Is that true?
I'm not sure I understand your question.
Well, either way, I'm going to lean on Commissioner Akerd to bring back parliamentarian rules in his mind, since he was the parliamentarian for 3 or 4 years. And I appreciate Commissioner Bledsoe for bringing that to our attention, that not only does Robert's Rules of Order probably not allow this, it's not allowed in our own rules. So, again, we're setting a dangerous precedence, and it didn't take real long for this meeting to drive my blood pressure through the roof. So here we go.
Commissioner Hannah.
I just looked up in the Robert Rules of Orders, and it says we can do this before the agenda is set.
So the motion we currently have pending is to reconsider setting the agenda. So if we vote yes to reset the agenda, we'll essentially be starting the meeting over. A no vote will mean we carry on as it is currently. So are the commissioners ready for the question? A yes vote will be to reset the agenda. A no vote will be to carry on with the agenda we've currently got set. Commissioners, please register your votes. A yes vote will mean we restart everything. A no vote means we continue with the agenda we've already set. voting no, if you vote no, you do not want to reset the agenda. If you're voting yes, you want to restart the meeting. We did, and then we had a motion to reconsider.
Before we voted.
So would you not be voting, if you don't want to reconsider, you vote no? If you do want to reconsider, you vote yes?
You vote no if you don't want to reconsider. You vote yes if you do want to reconsider. If you want to reconsider, vote yes. If you do not want to reconsider, vote no. That's right. That's correct.
I still don't know. I don't know whether that's the rule or not.
I'm just checking to see who's voted, sir. Mr. Chairman, you have 3 yes, 12 no, and 1 abstention.
Thank you. The motion to reconsider has failed, and we are now moving on to public input for items on the agenda. I've got several cards here, and I'll go through them in order. Up first, I have Brian Thompson. If you could state your name, and I'll remind you, you've got 3 minutes.
Brian Thompson, District 3. So in the back there seems to be some confusion, following the confusion up here. Is the Pella Pacific Parkway extension still on the agenda for tonight? Am I still speaking on something that is an item on the agenda?
We're not supposed to go back and forth, but yes, it is on the agenda.
All right. So as I understand it, we're looking at setting aside millions of dollars of our local money for a project that the state wants to put through, and the people of Blount County overwhelmingly do not want to put through. You being our representatives, you being our people, I think we all need to really ask ourselves, and I'm sure you do every meeting, and remind yourselves of who you work for. You work for the people that elected you to be our representatives, so that we don't have to show up every single meeting to keep our thumb and make sure things are going according to our wishes, to our desires, to our goals. The Pella Pacific Parkway has been a long, hard-fought battle for so long. And I would encourage all of you to respect the wishes of your constituents and of your community who do not see this as a step forward into a future that they want, and to certainly not spend their hard-earned money on something that they do not desire, to be good stewards of the resources in your care. There's a lot in Blount County that millions of dollars could go a long way to helping. And it's been a long fight to keep the Blount County's budget, deficit drawn down successfully year over year. That's a thing to be proud of. Spending $5-6 million on something, that feels like a step in the wrong direction. Financially, in the trust of the people, Walmart already knows, they bought the property 10 years ago where it's going to meet 411. They know, and they're already breaking ground. They are counting on this to go through. It is not the local people who see opportunity in this. It is large interests from outside our community that see this as an opportunity. The Townsend is known as the peaceful side. Let's keep it that way. I look forward to hearing from the rest of our communities tonight. And above all, I urge the county commissioners to listen to them and to vote according to the wishes of your people. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Not going to have applause. Keep your remarks to yourself. We're not going to have applause. Up next, I have Nora Mays. If you will, please state your name and your district. And I'll remind you, you have 3 minutes.
Okay. Good evening. My name is Nora Mays. What else I need to say?
You're what district? What district?
I'm
you-
not sure. I live on Big Elm Road. I've been having a house there almost 10 years, and I'm not sure what district it is. This is the first time I had to come to a meeting like this. I'm here to find out what is going to be done with Big Elm Bridge.
So, ma'am, right now, we're taking comments for items that's on the agenda.
Well, I had
will
put
say
mine
your co-
wasn't. I had put that mine wasn't.
You sure did, and I missed it. I apologize, and I
Okay.
will call you back at the end of the meeting.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you. Alvin Lindsay's up next. Michael Gribble. If you could state your name and what district you reside in, and you've got 3 minutes.
I'm Michael Gribble, and I reside in District 6. And I appreciate an opportunity to speak to the commission. I live on Dotson Memorial Road, right next to Morganton and William Blount. My mother's family, the Dotsons, has lived there for 5 generations. The church is named after my great-grandfather, who was a Baptist minister. And I've spoke to the commission before, but there's a lot of new faces since the last time I spoke. But Blount County continues to grow seemingly unchecked. I know they're adding a multi-site residential place on the corner of Morganton and William Blount. I do appreciate that Mr. Bright asked that they have a setback on the Morganton Road side of the project. I shared with Mr. Bright and with Misty Davis, on my section of Dotson Memorial Road, people sidetrack the red light and they come down through there. The speed limit's 30, and they probably come down through there doing between 50 and 60. And recently my yard, they tore up the yard and almost hit a telephone pole coming around through there. And I've got a granddaughter that'll be 2 October the 1st. And I'm opposed to continuing to grow without some kind of a growth study. I think given our money for the Pellissippi Parkway, it still may never get built, but I don't think the majority of Blount Countyans want it built. And I know that there's a lot of builders that have a lot of influence and spend a lot of money on political campaigns. But I would urge you to listen to the voice of the constituents, the people that have been here a long time, like my family, and the people that have lived here just a few years. We would like to preserve our rural nature and for Maryville not to be the next Knoxville. And I appreciate your time.
Thank you. Up next, Elon Lloyd.
Hello, my name's Elon Lloyd, and I'm in District 8. I'm here today to urge you to vote no on giving TDOT taxpayer money and land to begin the right-of-way. The contract tied to the agenda has not changed since last month, so it is baffling to me why it is back unchanged. The contract makes no commitment to building the PPE, and taxpayer money was never supposed to be a part of this project, yet here we are. TDOT's backlog is currently $58 billion. So if you think that $11 million will be all that's ever asked of us, think again. I'd also like to point out that removing 110 properties from the tax rolls isn't fiscally responsible. Some of those properties are productive farms, yet TDOT conveniently doesn't count them as businesses. Meanwhile, to fund this right-of-way, major local safety projects were canceled without any input from this body. So if the commission is important enough to ask for $11 million, why weren't you consulted when the state canceled these projects? That includes the US 129 bypass widening, worth $4.2 million, Montvale Road safety projects, worth $9.3 million, the Sevierville Road project, worth $9.9 million. Those funds were diverted to this, and the Morganton Road improvement projects, worth $9.3 million. Funds were also diverted to this. So I'm here to urge you to vote no on this. It's fiscally irresponsible. Thank you.
Ingrid Hahn.
Hello, my name is Ingrid Hahn. I live in District 10. I live in Louisville. I don't live anywhere close to the Parkway Extension project. It will not affect me personally and in a direct way. I don't have property down there, but I have opposed this project for many years. And actually, on that subject, this project has been kicked down the road by TDOT over and over again. The Transportation Planning Organization, currently the Mobility Plan 2050, list of priorities places it in the physically constrained category, which means it's being pushed into the future. They, quote, estimate, and that is their wording, construction beginning no earlier than 2036. Yet they would like us, I'm not sure how it all started, but I imagine the contract was written by TDOT, just reading it. They would like us to contribute local county dollars to this project, or at least we're volunteering. We were never asked for county dollars for this before. This was never to be funded by county dollars, and Brian Daniels and others are on record saying as such. County dollars were not meant to fund this. I look at this contract and I read it, and I have read it, and to me it looks like a bad prenuptial. What we've got here is they're saying, okay, if you want to give us upwards of $19 million, we'll take it. But we want to write this document up and show you exactly where you stand on this, because, you know, we want you to know you're not getting that money back. That's what it says, clause after clause. You're not getting this money back if nothing happens. If things don't work out the way you're hoping, apparently, if this roadway project, which keeps getting pushed over and over and over again, how many times, if it does not work out 10 years from now, in 2036, people are going to say, well, wait a minute, the roadway's not being purchased, it's not being built, sorry. What happened to our money? Can we get that back now? And they'll say no. The commission back in 2026 signed a contract with TDOT saying, we'll give you this money. We don't expect to get it back if it doesn't work out. And if I were that person's parents, I'd say don't sign it. Thank you.
Thank you. David Woody. Please come forward and state your name and district. You've got 3 minutes.
My name is David Woody, and I'm here to speak a little bit about our use of funds and money, because there have been 4 major road improvements canceled by you all and the state, and therefore, but some of these, the money has already been diverted for the Pellissippi Parkway. $9.3 million that was supposed to be Morganton Road. Morganton Road needs sidewalks. It needs to be wide. Montvale. Now, I ride a bicycle a lot. But don't catch me out trying to go up Montvale, because that's a death warrant. Why are we spending the money just to get people past Maryville to Townsend whenever we have safety issues right here within a few blocks of this building today? We just need to allocate our money to be safer for the most citizens. And Pellissippi Parkway, it'll have fences on it, it'll say no bicycles, no pedestrians, no motorcycles under 5 horsepower. What good is that doing me? That's what I have to think about it. So thank you.
Thank you. Angela Montoya. You could just repeat your name and district, and you've got 3 minutes.
Sure. My name is Angela Montoya, and I'm in District 9. Using our tax dollars to acquire right-of-way property for the Pellissippi Parkway extension is completely unacceptable. Suddenly, after how many years that this project was initiated, the truth finally comes out. The community was assured that no local tax dollars would be used, that this project would be completely funded with federal and state dollars. I know there have been many questions from a lot of people, and I have a few more. Who has been deceiving the citizens for all these years? Who truly stands to benefit from this project? Who might now benefit from the plan to use our local tax dollars to purchase right-of-way property? The Blount County citizens have been swindled enough. Our local tax dollars and our resources should not go toward acquiring property for a state project that will only hasten our county's destruction. Instead, we need to spend our resources and dollars where they are needed most, such as the improvements to Morganton Road and Sevierville roads, both which are currently so dangerous and completely inadequate for the increasing traffic demands. I am astounded that this proposed plan diverts funds from these 2 much-needed projects to this land acquisition. This seems to border on criminal to even consider such a diversion of funds. The time is now to stop all the trickery. Stop taking from the citizens of Blount County for stuff like this. I respectfully propose that we use our money where it is most needed and not on acquiring land for an unnecessary state highway. I ask you, please, read the room, stand with the citizens, and vote no on this. Thank you.
Thank you. Nina Gregg. If you could state your name and district, and you've got 3 minutes.
Thank you. My name is Nina Gregg. I live in District 9. I want to thank you all for your service on the commission. I think there are lots of challenging issues that come before you, and I'm going to speak to one of them. I also want to thank you for the opportunity to speak. I've been involved with Citizens Against the Pellissippi Parkway Extension since its founding. I have read every study that the Tennessee Department of Transportation has ordered and paid for, including all the traffic studies. And I know way more about it than I thought I would ever need to. It occurs to me that there are some things that you all may not know, and I think you deserve to have accurate and truthful information. I have a few examples. You deserve the truth about how and why those 4 approved road projects were canceled. Who did it? Why did they do it? You represent the people who live in this county, yet you were not consulted on those cancellations that affect your constituents. So that's one. Second, this project is not funded despite what advocates will tell you. There will be a new governor in 2036. There will be a new state budget in 2036. There will be a new list of priorities in 2036. There will be a new federal government and a new federal highway administration in 2036. We don't know what dollars will be available for federal and state highways 10 years from now. The project is not funded. Third, despite what people may think, and I can understand why people might think this, the Pellissippi Parkway extension will not improve congestion through Maryville on Lamar Alexander Parkway or on Broadway. I've read all the traffic studies, and they don't show any improvement there. In fact, there are numerous intersections and roadways that are currently congested that will remain congested even if the extension is built, and I'd be glad to give you those examples. Fourth, you've already heard comments about the legal agreement. There is no commitment to build the extension by any particular date. There's no commitment to build it at all. It depends, it says in it, it depends on federal funding, which I've just explained is not known at this time. It also, I noticed the resolution on your agenda mentions the $5 million, but it doesn't mention the $6 million in land that we're supposed to donate. And if you've read the agreement, you've seen that you're supposed to give any county land that is in the right-of-way to TDOT for this project. And last, I'll say, you deserve the truth to know why some people are advocating for this project. Ask them why they want it, when it will not improve congestion, it will take local tax dollars, and will not improve the lives of the people who live here. Thank you.
Thank you. Tom Robinson. You could state your name and your district. I'll remind you, you have 3 minutes.
Tom Robinson. I own Bowman Farms. I live in West Maryville and own Bowman Farms, a Tennessee Century Farm slated to be taken by the Pellissippi Parkway extension. My attorney has asked me not to speak tonight, but that's no fun. Ed Mitchell, I'm trying to figure out why we would tax people, this young man right here, people who live in Blount County, $5 million in exchange for $32 million worth of canceled projects. $5 million for $32 million. You think that's stupid? I know stupid because I know what's across from me in Pellissippi Place. I spoke to this commission in 2002. In 2005, they finalized Pellissippi Place. Fred Forster, his staff, Fred was a good man. It was a horrific decision. And I stand before you tonight a wealthy man, just like I was in 2002, and I'm interested in buying from you, Brian Daniels, the Pronova building. Here are $2 for the Pronova building, and you can double your money on the dollar you put in.
Direct your comments toward the commission. You don't know.
I'm telling you right now, October 20th, 2011, Brian Daniels stood right here and said local tax dollars would not be used for the Pellissippi Parkway extension. He stood right here in 2011. Tonight he walks in at 4:47 when the lady's setting up the camera, and Mike Kaler is right there. And you know what he does? He says, "How does it look? How's it looking?" And you know what Mike Kaler does? He goes like this. I don't know what they're talking about. A golf game? Yes, sir. You were sitting right there. Don't tell me you were. I was sitting right there.
Direct your comments to the chair.
I'll direct my comments to the chair. I'll tell you this. I only have 30 seconds. I know what bad business looks like. I saw it in the zoning commission. I don't want to hear any of you who say you're a conservative Republican bitch and moan about Somalians in Minnesota when we do business just like they do. Just like it. Quit acting like you're conservative and do business the right way. Represent the people, represent our interests, and quit being phony.
Charles Osborne. If you would, sir, state your name for the commission, and I'll remind you have 3 minutes.
First time coming before you. I'm asking for a little help down on Big Elm Road. I move my tractors and combines 10 miles. I'm a mile from my house to the other farm.
I think you need to speak to items not on the agenda. And
No.
this time it is, you did mark items on the agenda, but I can save this till the end of the meeting and you can speak on that then. There will be another opportunity at the end of the meeting for items not on the agenda, and I apologize.
Oh, okay.
Kate Conley.
Good evening, everybody, and I've been here before. I try not to come too frequently, but I've been involved ever since I moved here in this CAP project, and I have a different understanding of our community growth. I came from Austin, Texas, and they ruined that town by letting the growth happen and not fixing the roads first. So what used to take 20 minutes now takes an hour and a half in Austin. They just completely ignored it. So when I saw we weren't taking care of things like lights at Sevierville Road, I mean, we have congestion that is not being addressed, and Pellissippi Parkway will never resolve it. People want to get to work quickly and safely, and we're ignoring that. Why? I have no idea, and I'm not going to repeat what everybody else said about this being a bad deal and local funds for it, but I will say my entire career was working with government contracts. I ran billion-dollar projects, and not a one ever came on time, on budget. So whatever this $335 million looks like, it's going to go up. That it always does. But I'm sitting here scratching my head going, why are we giving money for a project that isn't even on the books solidly for another 10 years? We're impacting 110 farms and residencies for what? And the only thing I could think of was there's a lot of commercial interest, putting these little schemes together because they're going to benefit. They're going to build houses and strip malls and all that crap, excuse my language, but I love Blount County. It is safe thanks to our law enforcement, great sheriff department. It has so many things going for it. Why destroy it? Why not help it grow safely and listen to the people? I've read the entire comprehensive plan. I've been to all the meetings. I've read all the TDOT remarks. And my friends and neighbors all over the county are saying, why aren't they listening to our needs? And I feel like we're mushrooms. We don't even know about this stuff. You don't communicate. We have to kind of find it out that we're going to be impacted by something significant. So I really appreciate your energy and your skills on this. I know it's a hard job to do. You've got a lot of things to balance, but I think you've been hearing from the people for a long time, since 1978 when it was first introduced. So obviously this hasn't been our number one priority as a people. Thank you.
Thank you. Jay Clark.
How you doing, Chairman?
Doing well.
3 minutes, I got it. Appreciate you being here tonight. I'm in District 9. Commissioner French and Michaels are my commissioners. After listening to Tom Robinson talk a while ago, there's a few things really I don't have to say anymore because I think he made it pretty clear. One thing I would like y'all to think about is how this has happened and why we're here. You had no say in the projects that were deleted, some of which that you voted on. You also voted on Pellissippi Parkway Extension back in 2011, and it is absolutely true what Tom said related to what Brian Daniels said about no local funds would be using this. I realize state and federal funds are still tax money, but if you're going to come to me and take my property taxes and then use it to run me off my property, y'all call yourselves conservatives? Where's the freedom in that? Think about that a minute. Next question is, where is the sense of urgency coming from? I can tell you where it's coming from. It's coming from the Blount Partnership. The Blount Partnership is pushing this, and they are scared. Not only scared, they're desperate. Okay? Think about this a minute. I've heard somebody say, well, we have to make this decision by September. I don't know who told y'all that, but that's an arbitrary deadline. There is nobody. TDOT didn't come to Blount County and say, y'all need to make this decision. If they did, they would have been bringing state dollars with them. So what is the sense of urgency? I can tell you what it is. Those are smart people. They wouldn't be able to destroy the county like they do if they weren't smart. They know how to count votes. They know the next commission coming in. They know that they're going to do a legitimate traffic study, which y'all have avoided for years. We're going to do a legitimate comprehensive plan. If we're going to spend our tax dollars to do that, then why would we not wait for this vote before we run our own citizens off their property so Brian can come up here and tell you that this road is being built for all the people that we need to bring here? This is about the Blount Partnership versus the people. It is no different. It is no different than TVA running people off their properties to build the Tellico Dam. That was there for one reason: economic development. That man over there and our mayor have sit there and said that's what this is for. You read the studies, that's what this is for. The partnership versus the people. Which side are you on?
Alvin Lindsay, do you wish to speak at this time? Alvin Lindsay? Does anyone else wish to address the commission? So just raise your hand. Come on. You would give us your name and district?
My name's Shannon Effler, District 7. I know these are rhetorical questions that you can't answer, and some of them may have already been asked, but I think they're questions that the public deserves answers to. Who knew this highway was being planned while developers were purchasing land along the proposed corridor? Who are those developers and who sold them the property? If this project's been in the works for years, why wasn't the right-of-way acquired before land started changing hands? If the land was less expensive years ago, why wasn't action taken then? And who benefits if property values increase before it's purchased? We're also being asked to commit $17 million of local taxpayer money without a guaranteed construction date. Would any responsible business owner sign an agreement where they pay millions up front while the other party can walk away without penalty? Why does the agreement list the completion date as NA? Why does the state receive the protections while local taxpayers assume the financial responsibility for this project? And why are local governments donating land without requiring it to be returned if the project never moves forward? Why were millions of taxpayer dollars committed before the exact parcels and fair market values were identified? And maybe the biggest question of all is, if this road's truly a state priority, why are Blount County taxpayers being asked to shoulder so much of the financial risk? And before we commit these millions of taxpayer dollars, the people who elected you deserve transparency, honest answers, and legally enforceable guarantees. Because at the end of the day, our responsibility isn't just to this road. We have a responsibility to think about what comes with it. If this becomes another growth corridor, and a lot of people believe that's exactly what's going to happen, we owe it to our citizens to understand the long-term impact before we move forward. And our job is to protect the people who pay the bills. Thank you.
Does anyone else wish to speak? Come forward, please. If you will, state your name and your district, and I'll remind you, you've got 3 minutes.
Yes. Hello, I'm Taylor Ford. I'm in District 3. According to item 6A of the Blount County Board of Commission Rules, Revision 3, 2025, which is accessible on the County Commission site, all resolutions must have all necessary supporting documentation attached prior to inclusion in the agenda for the meeting in which the proposed resolution is to be considered. According to item 6B, any resolution including committee or subcommittee resolutions must have 2 sponsors' names on the heading of the resolution or signatures of said sponsors before debate or vote is allowed. At least one of the sponsors must be present for the resolution to be heard.
This is for items on the agenda?
Well, this is regarding the agenda.
Can you just slow down a little bit? 'Cause that's good information, and, you know, anybody in here can get it off the website, but there's some of us need to hear that. Can you start over?
Yes, I can go much more slowly.
Mr. Michaels, you're cutting into the ladies' time. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. You were fine. The gist is that whoever sponsored the motion for any of these resolutions to be on the agenda, 2 of them have to sign it, their signatures must be present, and then at least one of them must be here. In the confusion that happened earlier in the meeting, I'm not sure if those 2 people are here. Are they? Who approved these meeting minutes or meeting items? Does anyone know?
We can't go back and forth with you. This is just a time for us to listen.
All right.
Yes, they are both here.
Okay. Well, that was just clarification. I wanted to make sure everyone knew what the rules were about setting items on the agenda, who needed to be present, and what signatures needed to be present for the items to be passed.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Seeing no hands, we're going to move on. I'll stand for a motion to approve the minutes. A motion from Commissioner Caldwell, second from Commissioner Martin. Is there any discussion on the minutes? If not, Commissioners, please register your votes.
Mr. Chairman, you have 16 yes votes.
Thank you. The minutes will be moved forward to the full commission. Up next, we have the general consent calendar. Have a motion from Commissioner McMahon, second from Commissioner Caldwell. Commissioner Aker.
Mr. Chairman, thank you. I would like to separate out item 1 and 2 to be voted on individually as they exceed $20,000.
Commissioner Ackard, we're on the general consent calendar, but I can recognize you again when we get to the budget consent calendar. Anyone else? Commissioners, please register your votes.
Mr. Chairman, you have 16 yes votes.
Thank you. The general consent calendar will be moved forward to the full commission. Up next, we have the budget consent calendar. And Commissioner Aker.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Now I would like to separate out item 1 and 2 because they both exceed $20,000.
So there's only 3 items on the budget consent calendar, so let's just vote on them all individually. Mr. Clerk, will you please read the call?
BCSO grant application, $73,800 to apply for fiscal year 27 litter grant, no matching funds required, referred to full commission with a favorable recommendation by the Budget Committee 4-0.
I have a motion from Commissioner Ackard, second from Commissioner Wells. Is there any discussion? If not, Commissioners, please register your votes.
Mr. Chairman, you have 16 yes votes.
Thank you. That grant application will be moved forward to the full commission.
Resolution number 267006, budget increase, library, $27,800, appropriate library fund balance for repairs to correct plumbing issues in the Learning Lab, referred to full commission with a favorable recommendation by the Budget Committee 4-0.
I have a motion from Commissioner Ackard, second from Commissioner Webb. Is there any discussion? If not, Commissioners, please register your votes.
Mr. Chairman, you have 16 yes votes.
Thank you. Resolution 267006 will be moved forward to the full commission.
Resolution number 267007, budget increase, Health Department, $4,027.21. Accept and appropriate fiscal year state DGA grant for Health Department personnel and operations. These funds are reimbursed by the state. No matching funds are required. Referred to full commission with a favorable recommendation by the Budget Committee 4-0.
I have a motion from Commissioner Martin, second from Commissioner McMahon. Is there any discussion? If not, Commissioners, please register your votes.
Mr. Chairman, there are 16 yes votes.
Thank you. Resolution 267007 will be moved forward to the full commission. We have no unfinished business. Moving on to new business. Mr. Clerk, will you please read the call?
Resolution number 267001, budget increase, debt service and general fund, $8 million. Enter into an agreement with the Industrial Development Board for the purchase of Alcoa South Plant, forwarded to full commission without recommendation by the Budget Committee.
I have a motion from Commissioner Ackard. Do I have a second? Second from Commissioner Caldwell. Commissioner Michaels up first.
I think that we need to call a point of order to this for a lack of a second on the Budget Committee. It should have never made this agenda. And I apologize when I came in late to the Budget Committee, and when I came in, I was told that it didn't get a second, and I just assumed that it would not be on this hard copy agenda. I assumed it. But that's how this game's played. If you look up or down or you don't keep paying attention, it'll hit you like a train. Everybody up here that voted for that a while ago, I hope you're getting replaced. I do. I hope you are. I love all of you, but this ain't the place for you.
Minnesota.
Yeah, that's what it's going to be. You know, I am required to have relationships with people that we do business with in this county. Some of them sitting in this room. But when they know that you will err on the side of logic and common sense, they don't even bother calling you to have the meeting. They don't want to tip you off. They don't want to show you their hand. This resolution and the Pellissippi resolution has been shoved down this commission's throat for the last 3 months, knowing that there's a new commission coming that supposedly, if they can't get to them, is going to stand their ground for the people. That's the campaign promises that they told. That's how they got elected. Because the people have watched this commission do just what we just did again. Most everybody up here is told Steve's crazy. Steve's crazy. Hey, you know what? I give two hells what people think about me if they're on the other side of the fence. Because you all have wallered and stomped a mud hole over there, and it's obvious to everybody in this county. And you know me, I don't get on one side of the fence or the other. And you don't have to wonder where I'm standing. Ever. Never have. And I've tried and tried and tried to keep communication open and talk, and, you know, they coddle and coddle. We're celebrated our 250th anniversary of our country this year, just passed, 4th of July. But that's not when we gained our independence. We still were at war. That's just when we declared it. The war continued. And I want to point something out to you here, and you're wondering, where in the world is he going with this? What does this have to do with this resolution? Because you're fixing to watch this get shoved down the people's throat because it made this agenda. And technicality couldn't even get it back off the agenda. It was ignored. The commission rules were ignored. It was slipped by on purpose. It should have never been on this hard copy, because this hard copy is rewritten between the budget committee and the agenda committee. So this hard copy of this agenda right here, this one is printed before everybody gets here, okay? Even the budget committee. It's got that on there. It's got this resolution on there. This one, it says agenda final. That means that between the budget committee and this meeting, it is reprinted and set out there for the public. That way it has the items and the resolutions that were dealt with the budget committee. And it reads on here at the end, forwarded to full commission without recommendation by the Budget Committee. Now, whoever narrated that knew that it shouldn't be on there. And I'm not saying that the one that did it is the one that needs to be blamed. But I guarantee you there's somebody in this room that needs to be blamed for it, because it should never made it to this hard copy that was printed at probably 10 to 6, 5:45-ish. It got laid out there on that table. Going back to why I said what I said about our Independence Day and our Declaration and our 4th of July and our 250th anniversary of our country. This country did not become what it is today because people weren't crazy. And if they want to call me crazy, I'm a patriot. I'm going to call myself a patriot. I've served my country, I've served my state, I've served my county, and now I'm serving my county again in this capacity. And I'm fixing to roll off here. And nobody can ever take that away from me. Nobody. And these things, folks, let me tell you something. We've got 2 state legislators and a state senator that when there's issues like this on an agenda, they should be sitting front row. I have tried to do what's right. And that's not always well appreciated by establishment politics. My hope is for the next commission coming in, they will be able to maintain what they promised the people and campaigned on, and they can do the right thing. It's not hard. It is not hard. We don't need to buy in $8 million to a project if Alcoa wants to do that, that's fine. That's fine. Blount County is not going to have a say in what goes in there. We've never had a say, really, in anything that's been put in by Blount Partnership. And I have absolutely and I'm going to explain something right here too, real quick. I told Brian Daniels, I said, I'm not going to beat this up, but I said, I'm not for it. I don't care to tell you that. He's sitting right over there. He knows exactly what I just said. But when I came in here and it got thrown on this agenda like this and forced down your throat, I ain't going to be able to keep my mouth shut on that. Not going to be able to keep my mouth shut. There's people running for your state legislator right now that think that the way I do business on commission, that I'm politically, I have no etiquette. Let me tell you something. You can take your political etiquette and shove it where the sun don't shine, but and every commissioner that's coming in here, you better remember that, and you better stay on course.
Time's expired.
Thank you, Mr.
Commissioner Davis. Commissioner Davis.
Thank you. Thank you, Chairman Bright. So, I can't believe this is on the agenda and it didn't pass budget, because whenever I was watching it on video, I was sure to get here and it wouldn't be here. So I don't know exactly how this happened, but it sure is fraudulent looking to me. Several months ago, if you're an avid TikTok and Reels person, you've seen a video floating around here, and it was about the Alcoa South plant, how we fear, oh, there's going to be an AI data center coming here. So my whole campaign, I just took this link and I sent it out to everybody, and I said, look at this. I said, nobody's talking about it, but they're psychologically brainwashing everybody to fear, so everybody will be like, please buy that up so the AI data center doesn't come here. Please, everybody, there's a data center. Okay, now here we are. We've made the resolution over the data center. The fear was placed by the videos and everybody out here doing all their little petitions and all the things they're doing. And we've got one mayor going out the door. We got one coming in, but we know exactly how much money's in fund balance that could go out the door with the mayor. So now, here we are looking like this, okay? We're looking fraud, and we are looking like we don't represent the people. I have a problem with that. I have a bad problem with that. And I'll tell you exactly what I think. I think that this is nothing but another real estate financial grab. It's embarrassing. And I will say that why would we give money to projects that don't have a business plan? And if we don't have an oversight committee to something like this, and we don't know our return on investment yet, this is a joke. Okay, that's what I think about it. And I'm really pissed off about it right here. So I'm just going to stop right here. Thank you. That's all I have to say.
Commissioner Joplin.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just for the record, this did not pass the Budget Committee because it did not have a second. Is that correct?
That's correct.
So the Budget Committee did not vote on this?
That's correct.
So procedurally speaking, this is a cluster you-know-what. Now don't clap for me because I've sat in the briefings and I've heard all about what this is, and I'm not necessarily opposed to this happening, but I actually came in here tonight planning on voting for this, but I can't vote on this with it being such a mess. I can't support something coming before the Budget Committee not getting a second and it still showing up on this agenda. I mean, I understand that we had two commissioners at the last second jump in and say, well, I'll support it, but that's not the way this works. If that's the way this works, then this entire thing that we're doing here is a cluster. So I can't support this because of the procedural mess that this is. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Wales.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The fact that it is here and that we are discussing it, and although I understand some of the pushback about the procedural things, I actually got a couple of questions about the resolution, about the project. If I could ask those of Mr. Baldwin, because they didn't get addressed from the Budget Committee. Would that be all right, Mr. Chairman?
Point of order. Point of order.
State your point of order.
The point of order is this did not get on the budget or the agenda correctly, and it should not be discussed. Period.
Do we have a second to that point of order? All right. Ask your questions to Mr. Baldwin if you do.
Thank you, sir. These are, again, trying to address it as it is here until it's not. So the question just was, Mr. Baldwin, to clarify the amount that we're putting into this and how that amount is being distributed across the municipalities, so on and so forth, and how does that play out from a ratio for revenue that comes back.
Yep, Commissioner, this was constructed as a 40% county, 30% City of Maryville, 30% City of Alcoa split, done traditionally like we do with many of our other industrial parks. The total sale price of $20 million means the county share would be $8 million. And the 40% in is not just it's on the expense side. It's also how the revenue will be split when it comes back for property tax, sales tax, any other tax that comes out of that site.
Thank you for clarification. And then the last, only other question that I had about the project coming into the meeting was knowing that split and how that acquisition is happening, who's actually going to be the property owner, if you will, controlling it, of that interest?
The technical owner will be the Industrial Development Board, and the controlling votes on that will be, it's a operating committee of 4 within the IDB. It'll be representative of the Blount County Mayor, the Maryville City Mayor or their designee, and the City of Alcoa Mayor or their designee, which currently for both cities that is the city manager, and then the other is the representative of the Industrial Development Board.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Anyone else? Mr. Akert. Give me just a second to get, all right.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. As a former rules person for the commission, I would say that we have discussed this matter in detail previously, that everything that appears before the Budget Committee is to come before us as well. And that's the reason for their vote tallies being written on the sheet. And I believe they've done nothing but follow the rules that we've discussed in this committee, on this group of people prior. As a lifelong person that's lived in Alcoa, I'm adamantly in favor of this agenda item because it gives some control over what is put on the property to the municipalities involved via their representative. We all got in a panic last month in this meeting and passed a rule about the data centers, which we can't put a data center in Blount County now because of what we did. But this property still exists inside the city limits and isn't subject to what we passed for the county. So there's that aspect of this piece of property as well. This prevents such a thing from happening. And we can pretend like there's things happening that shouldn't be happening, but according to the rules that we've discussed prior, we're doing what we're supposed to be doing in discussing it, regardless of what happens in the Budget Committee. We had this discussion that all things, whether they pass or fail, come to this committee next. Yes, we did.
Mr. Michaels Akert has the floor.
So I didn't hesitate to put my name on it because I'm for it. Because I want control. I want there to be some semblance of control rather than just the highest bidder for what gets put on it. I'll admit that I'm biased I drive by a section of it every day on the way to my facility. So that's why I'm for it. But it's up to each of you all to decide what you're for or what you're not for, but don't fall for the hype. There's all kinds of hype behind this that doesn't make any sense at all because the partnership's name is involved in it, and all things partnership must be bad according to the parties that be, but look at it for what it is. Look at it for who's going to be controlling it. I don't appreciate being questioned about whether or not this board voted on something that we voted on. That is a record. That is obtainable. And anyway, I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Commissioner Bledsoe.
Yes, Chairman, thank you. Chairman, I was going to see if someone from the Budget Committee can speak to the fact, like I said, I don't recall, this is my first term on the commission, and I don't recall a time that someone has came to the commission that did not receive a second in the Budget Committee. Okay, like I'm still one way or the other. Like, has this happened before?
Not to my knowledge.
Not to your knowledge?
Not that I can
Okay,
remember.
so this is kind of unprecedented area right here. And without our parliamentarian here, we don't know the exact ruling on this, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. So my take on this right now is, right now, we don't know. I'm not for sure, okay? I'm not saying yay or nay, all right? I don't know. I really don't. I'm just going to be transparent as I can be. I don't know if this should be on here or not. I don't know, okay? I'm not siding with either yes or no. I don't know, okay? We'd have to research this and look and see. But we do have next week. Can this be looked at and say if it's moved on by this? We're not voting on this actual resolution today. We're just voting to pass it on to next week. That's correct?
That's correct, but if it moves on to next week, it will have the opportunity to be passed.
Okay. So is there a possibility for it to be looked into between now and then the decision be made whether it's going to be on the agenda for next week?
I don't think so, no.
Okay. So basically, we still got a resolution lingering right here that we don't know that whether should be here or not.
That's correct.
Okay. Well, that's something. But anyway, second point about this property, as Commissioner Aker just mentioned, it is located in District 2 in Alcoa, the South Plant property. With this $8 million purchase, there's a lot of moving factors in this. Number one, you've got to decide, well, if the governments buy this, okay, yes, you can better control what is going to go in there, okay? On the other side, if the governments don't buy it, then Alcoa sells it to whomever they want to, then we do not have the control of what goes in there, okay? There's a lot of moving parts here. But even if the governments do buy it, first we got to look, how is it zoned in the city of Alcoa? With it being former plant property, I would say heavy industrial. Well, what does heavy industrial mean? Well, that can mean a wide variety of things. I would feel better about this $8 million resolution in agreement, several factors. Number one, if I knew whether or not it's supposed to be on here or not. Number two is if there was some agreement in how this is going to be zoned. Okay? As of right now, based on my research, and I stand to be corrected by anybody that might know different, it is zoned heavy industrial. Okay? So that leaves room for a lot of things. Okay? You just said it. Yes. Okay? You know, we talk about these data centers. Well, data centers haven't, you know, my last check with the city of Alcoa, to my knowledge, they said they had not been contacted by any data center, anybody even interested in it, nothing. Okay? And that's the truth. That's what I've been told. All right? But as of right now, Blount County has something in place, correct me if I'm wrong, has something in place so these data centers do not come here. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, that is correct.
Well, it's correct. We've started the process.
The process
It
is
still has
begun.
to come through planning and back to this board, but yes.
So for this property zone, City of Alcoa, we do not have that assurance yet. Okay? Not that one will be there. We don't know. I don't even know how it's exactly zoned. So between now and then, what I would like to do is look into this more. Number one, are there going to be regulations on how this is going to be zoned? We need to find out the zoning of it first before this number is approved. Okay? Because again, we don't know what we're approving. We don't know what we're approving to be built there because we don't know the zoning. Okay? But that's my job to look into it, and I'm going to look into it. Okay? So, like I said, so that's my two hang-ups on it. Okay? I'm not yes or no on it right now. Okay? It's one of those things, you know, the more that this has been talked about this evening has brought up some things in my mind. You know, number one, should we even be talking about it at all? Number two, how's this going to be zoned? Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Michaels for the second time.
Let these other people speak. You can come back around to me. I got to.
Commissioner Davis, I've got you up next for the second time. Do you want to wait? Or do you want to go now? You're next up. Or do you want to let the people that's not spoke yet? Commissioner Bennett for the first time.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I know in my first term, if it didn't pass the budget, it wouldn't be on the agenda, but we have passed things that the budget did not that didn't pass the budget for some reason, and it would come as an unfavorable recommendation, but it would still be on the agenda, but it would be with the unfavorable recommendation, because I know that because Commissioner Akerd, when it was unfavorable, he always questions it. But it's on the agenda, though. Even though it didn't pass the budget, it would still be on the agenda, and I know that because the Soccer Lights of Heritage didn't pass the budget, and it was still on the agenda, and we talked about it and voted on it. So we have done this before. So.
Order. Carry on.
That's since I've been on here, and I know we discussed it, and we wanted everything that was going against it, but we wanted to get it to the full commission so the full commission could vote on it and not just the budget. If it didn't pass the budget, it just came as unfavorable. So I appreciate it.
Mr. Carver.
I would like to hear from the mayor if he has an opinion on this.
Mayor.
Commissioner Bennett is right. It comes out of the budget committee. We have come out of the budget committee without getting a second on it. We have come out of the budget committee with unfavorable votes, and we've come out of the budget committee with favorable votes. It has came to you out of the budget committee with all three of those different attachments with it before. At one time it didn't come out, but for some reason a few years back they started wanting to see, the commission decided we don't want you all to kill everything and let's not see it.
We want it to come all the way through, whether you get a second on it, whether you vote on it, whatever. We still want to see it, and that's the way it's been coming out of the Budget Committee that way now for quite a few years.
You still got the floor.
So if this doesn't pass, then Alcoa Inc. has the opportunity to sell it to anyone else.
That would be my understanding, yes.
And that the city of Alcoa overrides even if we had a moratorium on data centers.
That's correct.
Since it's industrial.
County-
So there could be sold to a data center.
It could be, yes.
Or a chemical company, good point. But my understanding is that's not what the industrial board wants. And I'll just leave it with that.
Back to Commissioner Michaels again for the second time.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I have to agree with Commissioner Bennett. And disagree with Commissioner Akerd. Most of the time, and he was the one to do it, if it did not pass, he would always want to know why. If this failed, tell us why. And he would ask for somebody to give an explanation on why they did not pass the recommendation, just like the mayor said. What I'd like to do is I'd like to hear from the people on the Budget Committee. 1, 2, 3. They're sitting in this room. One of them made a motion, and the other two didn't second it. So they're all sitting in here. They're all sitting in here. I'd like to hear from one of them. And let me say this first. I'm not saying that if we knew exactly what, and I know that can't be done. If we knew, and it's not really our place to say, Alcoa has their own industrial development board. Do I want to see a data center over there? No. And Brian Daniels, he has a good sale on me at one point and said, if you don't, we're liable to lose the opportunity to do something with that property. But if it's up to Alcoa and they have their own industrial development board in the first place, I don't know how much influence do we have? And we're going to ask Blount County taxpayers to cough up $8 million? And listen, they're over here right now going, he's up there grandstanding. I ain't grandstanding for nothing. This is common sense. And they go back and have their dinner and drink their drinks and talk about how Steve jacked that up and yada, yada, yada. Well, that's all right. That's what I'm here for. So I would like to know, I understand we want to secure the property. We want to have a hand in what goes in there. We don't want a data center. But I'm going to tell you, what we passed last month against data centers has no teeth until it goes to the Planning Commission and zoning, and those zoning regulations are changed. It's just it's like a pair of Tommy Hatcher shoes. Slick.
Order.
Oh boy. Oh boy. So what I'd like to know is, I'd like to hear from Commissioner Kaler, and I'd like to know why he made a motion for this, and I may have already said it might be because he wanted to secure the property, but I don't know that this is going to secure the property. I don't.
And I'd like to hear from Brian Daniels. I'll give him an opportunity. Brian, would you come up here and tell us anything about this that you'd like to? Would you, I mean, I'm not trying to be, I'm not. You know I'm going to always give you the opportunity. Sure. I don't want to get whooped on the way out the door either. You're a big old boy.
You're not. So what you've got before you is the intergovernmental agreement. It is the rules of how the three governments participate in projects. And so we have intergovernmental agreements on each one of the parks that everybody goes into. And so it sets rules of engagement. And so one of the things that we're very cautious to do is that elected officials have oversight of that. And your top manager, your top elected official is your mayor, just like the mayors for the two cities. Now, the two cities will defer many times to have their city managers there representing them, but there is an operating committee on the Industrial Development Board. You know, the Industrial Development Board insulates you all from liability. It is there to develop projects, develop properties for the community, and guide what we want to see there. There has been direct conversations with the city management of Alcoa that before they can do a zoning overlay, we need to control the property, because if they try to zoning overlay it now, they're taking property rights away, and it'll set you up for a lawsuit that you all know through planning commissions. So for us, there is guarantees there that there is oversight by the mayors. There's that operating. It's spelled out point blank in a contract. That is a contract enforceable by court of law. And so you all are protected there. You all do have a say, just like you have every one of the industrial parks. Any project that comes through, the top manager of that government, which is the mayor, has to approve any of those projects. I mean, it is the ultimate trump card.
So would it be fair to say that if it's only the mayor that has to approve it, would it be fair to say that a lot of it don't even come to the commission?
So the Industrial Development Board is an extension of all local governments, and this one is a joint board where everybody owns it equally. And so that board is tasked with development of properties. That is how it is across the entire state. The state of Tennessee sets rules of engagement of how organizations can develop property just for you all. That's why they set IDBs up. They don't want you all negotiating, elected officials negotiating incentives, because there's a whole conversation of, well, if you get me elected, I'll do this over here for you. So that's why you have appointed folks with our joint industrial board. You all appoint collectively, equally, each one of those members. So that keeps the checks and balance, that Maryville doesn't put one of their lackeys in, or the county doesn't do that. It is truly, all three governments have to appoint those. And so over top of that are the top managers that the people have elected to say, we look out for our interests. And
the mayor.
The mayor.
The mayor.
Yes.
The mayor appoints these people to this board, and your board.
No.
No?
The mayors don't appoint, no.
Well, they offer the appointment to the commission.
No.
No?
So the Joint Industrial Board submits names to you guys, and all three legislative bodies have to approve each one of those names.
Like I said, they come up with an appointee.
Sure.
It's presented to this body.
Sure.
And it may have to go before Maryville and Alcoa City Council, but yes, this body is.
That's right.
Is voting to appoint them.
Yes.
Because that's who the mayor brought to us, right?
No. Again.
No?
No. Those boards.
Did you bring them?
Do we?
The appointees.
So the boards submit three names to you all. You all have done this in the past. So
Yeah.
here are the representatives to pick from. And if no one can agree on the same person, then another slate is submitted, and so forth.
Well, where did the mayor come into that?
Over top of that is an operating committee made up of the three mayors, the governments that are funding the endeavor, and they are the ones that have to approve any project, any incentive, any of those things that are done.
Okay, so once your board figures out what direction you want to go, it comes back to the mayor of each entity, Alcoa, Maryville, Blount County?
It actually starts, when we're talking with companies, we always talk to each individual mayor, and we give them, here's what's going on, give me your thoughts.
Okay. All right, thank you. Thank you, Brian. I appreciate your time. My time's running down, and I really don't know what else to say. We shouldn't even be considering this. If this goes on this doesn't even need to go on to next week. We don't have anything in place to keep this from just running right off the rails, and definitely there's no way I'd put $8 million taxpayer money into this. I mean, there's got to be another contract somewhere out there, some other way to secure it without $8 million.
Commissioner Davis.
That's what we need to figure out.
Time's expired.
Thank you, Chairman Bright. So with this land is contaminated, and this is just the beginning of what we would have to deal with, because West Plant, when it was sold, if I'm not mistaken, they couldn't even grow grass over there, and Blount Excavating was over there digging. My cousin was working as a foreman, and it was months and months moving soil out. And I know Brian told me there was a brown test or a soil test. So, I mean, you know, this is probably something Aaron Brockovich wouldn't even deal with on this situation, you know. But getting back to the basics, we're spending tax dollars, right? Our constituents work hard for their money in our county. There's some people it's having to work 2 jobs to pay bills, and some people can't make ends meet. But we're spending tax dollars like we're entrepreneurs when we're not taking care of roads. I got a bridge down in my district indefinitely. I mean, I just don't see how anybody could even look at this and be like, this is the right thing to do right now. So, Mr. Chairman Bright, I want to move to refer this back to the Budget Committee for further review and recommendation for the commission, because it should have never made it back to this agenda.
So I have a motion to refer this back to the Budget Committee, and I have a second from Commissioner Michaels. Let us get the computer set up here and we'll vote on that. Is there any discussion on it? Commissioner Hannah, I see your light's on. Do you want to discuss the motion to refer it back or the main motion? No, it's fine. Go ahead.
According to Robert's Rule of Order, a resolution that failed to get a second or was rejected entirely within a subordinate committee like a budget committee is not permanently dead. It could still be brought before the full commission. Because committees are subordinate to the main body, their failure to act or second a motion cannot be strip a full commission member of their right to introduce business to the main assembly. How you move it to the commission workshop agenda depends entirely on timing, which is the things that we did before, was to approve it, get a second before you approve the agenda meeting.
Thank you. Commissioner King.
Yeah, can you ask the mayor if we've done this in any other industrial boards the same way, or is this something different that we're doing?
So he had answered that just a minute ago, but he can answer it again if he'd like, but yes. Go ahead, Mayor.
You know, we're talking about this particular piece of property and buying this land for industrial use, but you go back 30 years, as a county in Alcoa and Maryville, we've been buying, we've got Stock Creek Industrial Park we bought, we've got Big Springs Industrial Park we bought, we've got Pellissippi, we've got industrial parks all over the county that we have been investing in. Some we've invested a lot more than $8 million in. I mean, if what we're looking at here is what the other commissioners over the years have looked at, it was an investment into a piece of property that you're going to, at some time, develop into an industrial park. And this isn't some new thing that just happened. We've been doing this for 30 years, 35, 40 years. With the industrial, with the IDB, is we've been investing, Maryville's invested, Alcoa's invested. That's the reason we have the industrial parks we do. That's the reason we have Denso. That's the reason we have the down on Big Springs. All of those industrial parks, we all invested in that. We spent money. We spent millions of dollars. The commissions that have came before you all have went and spent millions of dollars to buy vacant land. There wasn't industry there. They bought the land, just like right here. This is vacant land. They bought the land with the idea that it would bring industry or whatever. Actually, on this piece of property here, it could actually bring retail, commercial. There could be restaurant. I mean, there's some opportunities on this piece of property for some recreational fields, for a soccer complex. I mean, there's some things that if you think about what you can do on this piece of property, there's a lot of property that there's a lot of things we can do here. But we've been buying property a long time before any of us were here across the county for these industrial sites. This is not something just new that's just come up.
And if we don't buy it, then, and the city of Alcoa gets it, the county gets no tax dollars from it.
We get property tax. Yes, we still get property
tax.
Right?
But
let me talk about, you talked about the Alcoa IDB. They do have their own IDB. But the Alcoa IDB can offer, whatever they offer is incentives. If they offer to bring someone in and that doesn't have to pay taxes, you don't have to pay taxes for 20 years. We don't get any money out of that. They can control what funding, what revenue we get out of that too.
Thank you.
Mr. Michaels, for the first time on the motion to send it back. That's what we're discussing. That's the motion we got right now. Commissioner, that's what I'm saying, Michael's first time talking on sending it back to the
Motion to amend. All right, thank you, Mr. Chairman. I heard what the mayor said right there, and I don't disagree with it. I think that we've got a lot of industrial parks that are sitting half empty, and we just keep building industrial parks and owning land. But who controls that? It's not been this commission. It's not been the legislative body of this county. It's been 1, 2, 3, Maryville, Alcoa, Blount County Mayor responding back and forth to the Industrial Development Board, which is loaded. Loaded. So I'm all for Commissioner Davis's motion. And before I make any additional amendments, let's vote on this one. I'll be here all night. There's coffee in there. I can go get it.
Does anyone else wish to speak to the motion to refer this item back to the Budget Committee? Commissioner Eckert.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I want to make sure that there's no confusion. The city of Alcoa cannot prevent a call center from going on that property. It can't happen. Blount County Commission, the rule that we passed, regardless of what happens to it countywide, can't prevent a call center from happening on that property. This was presented to be a fail-safe method of preventing a call center from going on that property. The city of Alcoa's only chance of doing it themselves is if they bought the property themselves and then changed it. They can't change it subject to it being bought because it eliminates the possibility for a buyer. This has been confirmed to me from the city of Alcoa while we've been in this meeting as well. They can't stop it. So if we're as committed as we were last month to stopping the call center from happening, this is the best way to do that. And if we're not, that's cool. But I thought we might have been unanimous about it last month when we passed no call rule. So we can send it back, we can do, I mean, it's our decision whether it goes back or comes back, it doesn't matter, it's our decision. So if we pass it back, we're playing games. And
What's the urgency? Commissioner Michaels for the second time on the motion to refer back to the Budget Committee.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I know that's hard to hear, what Commissioner Aker just said, but there's a lot of it that's right. There is a lot of that that's true. Just like Blount County doesn't have anything right now, any teeth to keep that. You can't start changing zoning law after somebody's inquiring about the property. So us, nor Alcoa, nor Maryville City, nor Bradley County, nor this one, nor that one that's passed these resolutions on county level or local level, they don't have any teeth. And it's just a resolution to initiate zoning changes, which comes with hearings, and that has to be set a week or two away, and then this one has to, and it's got to be advertised. And I'm not saying I want to spend $8 million, but I'm just telling you what some of what Mike Aker's saying is true. So what do? You spend $8 million and hope you got a little bit better of a control over it? Or you just hold your money and hope for the best? So we got a governor's race going on, and we probably need to be watching about who said we got these data centers coming. Better watch. That's important too. So what I'm telling you is even though I don't like this, even though it was snuck on the agenda, even though there is a little common sense to hopefully somebody else don't buy it if we don't pass this resolution, but I would like to make sure that there was a lot of things in there. And I don't know. You want to talk about being in a hard spot? I'm not saying that I'm for it, but I'm not saying I'm against it. You see what I'm saying? I'm against how it was put on this agenda. And it makes my eyes go like this when stuff like that happens up here. All right, let's do it. Is there anybody in the audience? I want to use the rest of my time, 6 minutes, 55 seconds as of right now. Is there anybody up there that wants to talk about this on the microphone? I want to yield my time, Mr. Chairman.
That's out of order. Well, that's out of order. That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen.
Data centers and anybody in the room. No more power than anybody in the room.
Commissioner Bledsoe.
I'm not done. Mr. Tom, if you want to come back up there at the microphone.
That ain't happening.
Well, I need to ask him a question.
Sir? Regarding what? What are you asking him about? Is he an expert witness?
Yeah, he's probably the best one here. Turn your microphone on, Tom.
What do I have to do, punch it? This is a calmer response, but I just spent the last several weeks in Silicon Valley, and I do want to explain to everybody that if Oracle, now based in Nashville, wants to put a data center in my front yard, they're going to put a data center in my front yard. And if we're located in East Tennessee, where nuclear fuels is based in Irwin to provide the fuel for the nuclear submarines, and they want to put a data center in Alcoa, they'll put a data center in Alcoa. They'll do it. You need to understand what they can do and what they can provide militarily for the safetyness of our citizens. And the craziest thing maybe that I've heard tonight from Ed Mitchell, I mean, this is crazy.
Tom,
one thing,
let's stay on
toxic
topic.
waste or the bad waste that you addressed, that you said Brian talked about how bad the land was. Did you hear what Ed Mitchell mentioned? We can put a soccer field on it.
Tom, thank you.
And let kids play on it.
Tom, thanks.
But I think you really need to think about
Yeah.
when you talk about data centers.
Thank you, sir.
About national security.
Thank you, sir. He is done asking questions now.
So, I do want to point out too that, sir, I do want to point out too, it has an industrial zoning. It's got a railhead around it. It would be real hard for anybody to do anything different with it, and I don't see Alcoa doing anything different with it. So it's not going to be soccer fields more than likely. It ain't going to be a Kentucky Derby. It's not going to be anything like that. It's going to be used for industrial purposes. We're not going to get a splash pad over there or a beer park or anything like that. It's going to be used for industrial purposes. So we need to pay attention. The Industrial Development Board probably does need to be a part of it. I just don't like how this got put on this agenda tonight.
Commissioner Bledsoe.
We're speaking on still,
Motion to refer back to the Budget Committee.
okay. Referring back to the Budget Committee on that motion, could there be something on that motion or on this resolution somehow to go back and look and put some information in this resolution about the zoning of this specific land?
Yes.
Number one, we got to find out how is it zoned. I mean, I'm guessing it's heavy industrial, South Plant. But we still need to make sure some way that we can do what the county, they said that the city of Alcoa cannot control AI data centers coming in there. Well, yes, they can. They can do what the county's doing right now, setting up regulations. The process has began. Once the city begins that process, if they will, that can happen. Can it not?
Yes.
Okay, could that somehow be tied into this resolution about the zoning?
When it goes back to the Budget Committee, they can do anything they want to with it when it gets back there.
Okay. I just recommend it be looked into a little more.
Commissioner Akerd for the second time on the motion to refer back to the Budget Committee.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The entire thing is zoned heavy industrial, heavy industrial. Currently, there is property close to the duck pond in Alcoa that could easily be soccer fields if that was what was inclined for the property. It's not like this is a loss for Blount County. This is an investment in property that will reap tax rewards for the citizens of Blount County from now on when it's sold off and businesses are put there. And that doesn't happen overnight, but it does happen. And failing to do things that open the door for things that people absolutely don't want is one thing, but failing to do them that open up the doors for other businesses to relieve the tax duties on the citizens is detrimental as well. Yes, the $8 million is significant revenue, but it pales by comparison as to what would be coming in annually when it's all filled up. And one more time, we can't prevent the call centers from happening there any other way. If Alcoa, the city of Alcoa is incapable of buying it, it can't be changed. So I would urge all of you to bite the bullet and vote no on this attempt to drag it on, and let's vote on it. And we've got until next week to learn anything more that we need to learn about it. But I would urge you to vote no on postponing it another month. So thank you.
Does anyone else wish to speak to the motion to refer back to the Budget Committee? If you want to refer this back to the Budget Committee, vote yes. If you do not want to refer it back to the Budget Committee, vote no. Did you hear that, Commissioner Carver?
Read it again.
If you, are the commissioners clear on the question? If you wish to refer this back to the Budget Committee, vote yes. If you wish to not refer it back to the Budget Committee, vote no.
Waiting on Commissioner Webb.
Which one?
Commissioner Webb. Okay. Mr. Chairman, you have 5 yes votes and 11 no votes.
That motion fails. So we're back on the main motion. Are the commissioners ready to vote on the main motion? So please register your votes.
Mr. Chairman, you have 12 yes votes and 3 no votes and 1 abstention.
Thank you. Resolution number 267-001 will be moved forward to the full commission.
Resolution number 267002, budget increase, debt service, $5 million. Enter into an agreement with TDOT for right-of-way acquisition for the extension of Pellissippi Parkway. Referred to full commission with a favorable recommendation by the Budget Committee, 3-1.
Do I have a motion? I have a motion from Commissioner Carver, second from Commissioner Caldwell. Is there any discussion? Commissioners, please register your votes.
See if Commissioner- okay. Mr. Chairman, you have 11 yes votes and 5 no votes.
Thank you. Resolution number 267002 will be moved forward to the full commission.
Resolution number 267003, budget increase, various departments, $2,154,682.10. Reappropriate funds from prior year to support ongoing projects. Referred to full commission with a favorable recommendation by the Budget Committee, 4-0.
I have a motion from Commissioner Akerd. Do I have a second? Second from Commissioner Wells. Is there any discussion? If not, Commissioners, please register your votes.
Mr. Chairman, you have 16 yes votes.
Thank you. Resolution 267003 will be moved forward to the full commission.
005 was removed, correct?
Give me
Commissioner Davis, was it 2607-005 that you removed, Ms. Davis?
No,
No?
it was 267015
Okay,
on the last page.
okay, thank you, I'm sorry. Okay. Resolution number 267005. Oh, I skipped 4.
Yeah, 4.
My apologies. Resolution number 267004, budget increase, central services, $465,375. Appropriate federal opioid funds to fund the substance use residential treatment facility in Blount County. No matching funds are required. Referred to full commission with a favorable recommendation by the Budget Committee, 4-0.
Do I have a motion? I have a motion from Commissioner Wells. I have a second from Commissioner Hanna. Commissioner Akerd.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I was going to move that we take a moment to let the crowd disperse and maybe go to the restroom, but
After we vote on this item, we'll take a 10-minute recess. Is there any discussion? Commissioners, please register your votes.
Hold on, Mr. Chairman, I missed one. Mr. Chairman, you have 16 yes votes.
Thank you. Resolution 267004 will be moved forward to the full commission. We are going to take a 10-minute recess, and we will be right back.
Sorry, sir. You're fine. Push it.
You're fine. You're fine. Meeting's back in session. Mr. Clerk, can you please read the call for the next item?
Resolution number 2607005, budget adjustment, county maintenance, $263,332. Adjust appropriation to recognize revenues and expenses related to the county maintenance for the Blount County Library. Referred to full commission with a favorable recommendation by the Budget Committee 4-0.
I have a motion from Commissioner Akerd, second from Commissioner Wales. Is there any discussion? If not, Commissioners, please register your votes.
Mr. Chairman, you have 16 yes votes.
Thank you. Resolution 267-005 will be moved forward to the full commission.
BCSO grant application, $1,575,000 to apply for fiscal year 27 school security officer grant for 21 SROs at $75,000 each. No matching funds are required. Referred to full commission with a favorable recommendation by the Budget Committee 4-0.
I have a motion from Commissioner Akerd, second from Commissioner Webb. Is there any discussion? If not, Commissioners, please register your votes.
Mr. Chairman, you have 16 yes votes.
Thank you. That grant application will be moved forward to the full commission. Moving on to appointments.
The Industrial Development Board of Blount County and the cities of Alcoa and Maryville, Tennessee, and the Health and Educational Facilities Board of Blount County, Tennessee, submits for a reappointment along with alternate candidates to fill the upcoming expiring term of Matt Murray's seat to an additional 6-year term. The candidates are ranked in order of preference. Reappointment, Matt Murray, former professor of economics, University of Tennessee, Knoxville. Alternate candidates, Tracy Queen, General Manager, ICC International, and David Shanks, President, Shanks and Associates.
I have a motion from Commissioner Bledsoe, second from Commissioner Akerd. Commissioner Michaels.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I would like to take item A and item B and item C and put them into one resolution or vote on them at one time, and I'd like to make a motion that this is amended to come back to this commission after September 1.
So I have a motion to combine these three items and to return these three resolutions to the commission after September the 1st. Do I have a second?
Because these are some long-term appointments, 6-year terms, several seats, and these are appointments to some very heavy-hitting committees in this county. And I do not think that this board needs to be voting on any of this when you've got so many new commissioners and a new mayor coming into this county that promised the people that they would change some things. This is not something this commission should be addressing.
So is it?
And I do not think that it's going to hurt anything to postpone this till after September 1. I don't care what date you put it on, but after September 1, 2026.
So we have a motion to combine these three items and postpone them till September the 1st. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second from Commissioner Davis. Is there any discussion on the motion to postpone?
Does anybody have anything
Commissioner Akerd.
There you go.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Has anybody got any opposition to that from the mayor's office, or is there any reason why, any date that we're flirting with that we shouldn't be?
I've turned your microphone on there, Mayor.
I'm not sure of the others. You'd have to talk with Industrial Board, but on the TWRA, his term does expire this month. So or in August, I guess. So, I mean, but I don't see that it's a problem if you carry it over to September 1st. I don't see an issue with it on that. I actually had asked Jared about this too, and he was, so I'm thinking that I wanted him to be happy with, I wanted to, anything that I'm appointing and that I have appointed in the last 2 or 3 months, I've been, or since the election, I've asked Jared if he's happy with it. If he's not, I've let him make his decision on who he wants to appoint. But right now, Randy Massey he was okay with Randy Massey. But if you want to wait and let him bring it back to you after September, that'll be great. You know, I'll sit at the house and watch what y'all do with it, okay?
Does anyone else wish to speak to the motion to postpone? Commissioner Joplin.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I would like to know how this would affect the Tourism Development Authority.
Is there anyone here that can speak to that? Mr. Daniels, go ahead to the podium there.
Sure. So the Tourism Authority just elected a new slate of executive members, and Joy Carver and Chad Rochelle just became chair and vice chair. And so that could put in jeopardy their tenure and leadership there. Their terms expired currently, which they can continue to serve until they're reappointed or replaced. And then Matt Murray, his appointment I think is up now. And so they continue to serve until their replacement is fulfilled. If the local governments can't agree on candidates, the boards continue to submit new names, and those people continue to serve until all 3 legislative bodies can come to an agreement.
So just to be clear, the Tourism Authority will still function, everything's okay if we postpone?
It will, yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Anyone else? We're voting on postponing these 3 items until September the 1st. If you're in favor, vote yes. If you're not in favor, vote no.
Mr. Chairman, you have 11 yes votes and 5 no votes.
Motion passes, and these 3 items will be moved forward till after the new term begins.
Resolution number 267013, a resolution to add employees to government crime insurance policy in lieu of statutory bonds.
Do I have a motion? A motion from Commissioner Wales, second from Commissioner Webb. Is there any discussion? If not, Commissioners, please register your votes.
Mr. Chairman, you have 16 yes votes.
Thank you. Resolution 267013 will be moved forward to the full commission. Up next, we have announcements and statements. The Blount 250 Committee will meet on Tuesday, July the 14th at 5 p.m. at the Blount County Courthouse in Commission Meeting Room 430. The Election Commission will meet on Tuesday, July the 15th at 11 a.m. at the Blount County Courthouse in the Election Office. The Technology Committee will meet next Thursday, July the 16th at 5:30 p.m., followed by the Board of Commissioners meeting in regular session at 6 p.m., both held at the Blount County Courthouse in Commission Meeting Room 430. Remember the following meeting dates for next month. Tuesday, August the 4th, noon will be the agenda items deadline for draft resolutions. Tuesday, August the 11th, Budget Committee at 5 p.m. and workshop at 6 p.m. And Tuesday, August the 18th, Commission in regular session at 6 p.m. Does anyone else have an announcement or a statement? Moving on to public input for items not on the agenda, and I've got 3 cards here. Ms. Knorr, could you please come forward? It's finally your turn, and I apologize you had to.
Okay, good evening. Nora Mace, and I found out I'm in District 7. I want to address Big Elm Road Bridge. I know that it's been out for quite some time. To me, it looked like it just needs redecking. They do this all the time in Louisiana. My main concern about the bridge being out, I know that it only really physically affecting 4 of us that live in that area, but safety reasons. I already got trapped in once. A tree fell across the road, couldn't get out that way, couldn't get out the bridge because the bridge was out and we had to, thank God it was emergency, we just stuck. But I'm worried if, okay, my neighbor was working on a property, he sustained an injury, everybody come running to get him, stopped at the bridge. They end up having to fly the helicopter in to get him off my property because it would took too long to go back around. So my concern is, 1, is Big Elm Bridge ever going to be repaired? And 2, we also need signs put up. That's the main issue right now, is putting big signs up, one by North Tregonia, one by Tregonia, and one by 72 East, stating Big Elm Bridge closed. That way they know to go the different way. You know, at least by North Tregonia and Tregonia, to know to go to 72. Because if not, they get to that bridge and they can't go anywhere. And I'm really concerned it's a real safety issue on my part. And like I said, it's 4 houses, my other neighbors. And that's all I have to say, and thank y'all and good evening.
All right, thank you. Charles Osborne.
Good to meet you all. I'm a farmer.
Could you please give us your name and your name and your district, please?
Charles Osborne.
And you live down there at Big Elm, so I would say you're in the 7th district also.
I can't understand.
Do you live down there at Big Elm?
No, I live on Russell Holler. I farm on. I got 2 farms. One on Russell Holler. I got one Big Elm where she lives at. Okay. We've got 100 acres on each side. The creek is between us, and for me, in order to get my equipment, I've got to come out North Trigonia on to 411 down to 72. That's a nightmare to try to move a piece of equipment up 72 highway. It's from white line to white line, that stuff is. We fold all we can, and we try to farm that. And the bridge, we need something that we can cross without driving that 10-mile circle. It's just a mile from my house to that farm. And I got hurt over there, fell off the combine, busted the pelvis bone, broke my ribs, and took them 45 minutes for them to get to me. And when the ambulance finally got there, they sent for the helicopter. So I got to ride the helicopter to UT. And so to move this farm equipment, we've had state troopers to help us get up 72. We've had Von Orr City. We've had Von Orr County, or Monroe County, to help us get that stuff in and out to get up there to the farm. I mean, we're just a poor old bunch of farmers trying to make a living. And I'd hate to get somebody killed. I'd hate to get killed moving that stuff. People that run 72 highway, I don't know where they're from. They ain't from the county. But it's been a nightmare since the bridge has been out. And we'd sure appreciate it. We ain't got the problems that you boys is having tonight. I appreciate the battle that you're in. But if you could see clear anyway to try to get us a bridge that we could get across that mile. It might save my poor old life. I'm just 82, and so I'm still a farmer, still working, work every day, and just trying to make a living. But I'd appreciate it if you could take into consideration of trying to get a bridge down there that we could cross. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Alvin Lindsay, is he still here? Does anyone else wish to speak to an item not on the agenda?
My turn?
Yep, it is. You'll give
This
us
is
your
great,
name
isn't it?
and-
250 years of democracy. This is great. And having a big crowd and everything, this is great. My name's Jim. I'm on the corner of Ralston and Trenton. Several of you, most by now, know that we want our subdivision, about 250 houses, 225, 250. We want the entire subdivision resurfaced. You guys couldn't prove it on a record how much inventory, how much maintenance that Blount County's put in that neighborhood. It'd be probably a couple $1,000 worth of labor and material. It's bad. Some of the commissioners know it's bad. They've seen it. They've walked it with me and on their own. So here's what I'm suggesting, and it's part of tonight's agenda as well. But if you get a little bit of that $2,154,000 that the highway department's going to get, if you give us about a tenth of that, you can do our neighborhood. And you can make it safer, it'll look better, it'll work better. A small portion of what we're asking. Modernize that place a little bit. Or you can get some money from the Tennessee Department of Transportation. They're forcing us to make you people to make a decision about getting into this thing. They're forcing it. And their idea and your money, our money. So anyway, that's a request again. I'm not going to give up on this thing. I don't know what the neighborhood's going to do to get more action. And I would really like to somehow have somebody explain to me how all you commissioners cannot tell the highway department to get this road fixed, this subdivision fixed, and put it in, maybe next year's budget or something, or maybe even 10 years from now, who knows? But anyway, it seems like some people working for the county aren't getting things done. We're spending money, we're investing money in something in the future, and we're not taking care of what we have, at least on Ralston View. I understand that we can do a mile of asphalt, the county can, with their new machine and their new truck. They can do about a mile a day, and we have approximately a mile and a half. Who's controlling this highway department anyway? I come here assuming that the collective group of you people told different departments how to spend money. You give them a budget and they want more. Of course, that's the way it works. If you don't use what you've had, you're not going to get it next time. But anyway, I don't understand the process there. And I don't think anybody's going to tell me.
Excuse me, sir,
exactly
your time has expired.
But I'd like to see somebody jack up the highway department in our neighborhood. That's what I want to see.
Your time's expired, sir.
Thank you for being here. Thanks for serving. Thanks for having big ears. And tonight was a real humdinger.
Is there anyone else that would wish to speak to items not on the agenda? Stand for a motion to adjourn.